What is inclusive neighborhood children parliament? Neighborocracy is an alternative system of governance to the failed democracy. All of us, we are well aware how the democracy has it has not met the aspirations of the people. Though it is said that it is for people, by the people and of the people, but it is completely not at all related to people, except once in 4 years or 5 years when they vote. And even that voting, the votes of the people are either looted or stolen or hijacked or whatever it is. And even that one single civic right of the citizen, many people are not able to practice it. And so we are trying to create a system. We have created a system of alternative governance where even the last person in the society will be able to be part of the day-to-day governance, where the parliament will not be in a place where people will not have access, but it will be among people where people themselves live, that is in the neighborhood. And in this neighborhood system of governance, there are 3 units in every neighborhood. It is divided according to the age. One for the children between between the age of 6 to 15, they are called the children parliament. Then the next one is for the youth. For the youth between the age of 16 to 25, they are formed as youth parliament. Then the third one is the parliament for the adults in the same neighborhood, and we call it neighborhood people's parliament. So these 3 units simultaneously function in every neighborhood. So in this system of governance, even a child of 6 years old is actively participating in the day-to-day governance, because every child has its own right to have its own opinion, its own views, and share its views and opinions and decide things for itself. So every child is been, has to be part of it. And that's what the UNCRC very clearly states. So children's parliament is not somewhat an organization for children to, it's a project like that children come and they dance and they share things. Okay, it is all part of it. But more to that, they are part of the governance system. That's why I always used to say to the participants, neighborocracy is the only system of governance in the world history where even a child of 6 years old is actively participating in day-to-day governance. So this is what children's parliament is meant. Of course, in many places now, even in the schools, the children parliaments are started. But again, even in the schools, if it is started, they function according to, they are divided according to the neighborhood they come from, not according to the age wise or according to the class wise. So if they decide, if they make the parliaments in the schools according to the age or according to the class, then again it defeats the purpose of the children's parliament. And we should not forget, it's an inclusive neighborhood children parliament. So the schools do it. They start, they train and they monitor, they help the children to grow in every way. But always the children have to be divided according to the neighborhood they come from. The neighborhood in strict sense, in some cases it may be a larger one geographically, in some cases it will be a smaller one. So this is how they are functioning. And the next type of children's parliament is in the neighborhood itself, organized by the NGOs. Okay. Now, they function very systematically. Whether children parliament or the youth parliament or people's parliament, they function very systematically. And all the children or all the members of a particular parliament, in our case, the children's parliament, all the children, those who are part of it, have to be elected as ministers. Not even a single child who is very young, maybe 6 years or 7 years, that child also has to be elected as a minister. And Being a minister means being responsible for something or other. So every child, younger children, like 6-year-old children, 7-year-old children, 8, they can be elected as deputy ministers, but they have to be part of it, and they have to hold the responsibility for some action in the neighborhood. So that's how they function, and they have their regular meetings and all. Now, minister, when we say minister, each one has a role to play. Each one has to involve in some way or other in the regular functioning of the children's parliament, so that they actively participate in the whole discussions, the process of discussion, the process of decision making, the process of preparing action plans, and in the process of implementing and evaluating and monitoring. So the whole process, every child is part of it. And when we say minister, the word minister means a servant. Ministrare, to serve. The word comes from the Latin word ministrare, which means to serve, a servant. A servant in the sense that that particular child offers its service to the others in that particular department for which that child is elected. That's why we call them ministers, children ministers. And we have wonderful experiences with Children's Parliament and the ministers and their functioning. And I've been sharing a number of sessions, the successful functioning of the children, and the stories, success stories, and the way they grow. It's not only that they are trained to govern tomorrow, but today itself, when they are children itself, they are part of the governance system. They govern today itself. They govern the neighborhood at today when they are children itself. And in this process, they are trained in various skills and in various ways, so that they develop holistically, and especially with the values. So that's what we mean by Children's Parliament and the ministers. And today we are going to see two ministries. The first one is the Children Minister for Responsible Consumption and Production. This may sound a bit very hard term to understand. No, it is very, very simple. And this is the goal number 12 of Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations. We all of us are aware that UN has come with SDGs, and the target date is 2030. So another 10 years is left to achieve all these goals. So always we say the Sustainable Development Goals cannot be completely achieved only by the government from the top-down procedure, but it has to be built from bottom-up procedure also. So that's why the Children's Parliament or the Youth Parliament or the Neighborhood Parliament play a very vital role in this, making these sustainable goals successful, achievable by 2030. Today we are going to see the Ministers for Responsible Consumption and Production. And we are all aware, today the whole world is consisting of consumerism. Consumerism has become the catchword of the corporates, of the capitalist economy. And we used to be consumers. 50 years back, 70 years back, we used to be consumers to our own products. But nowadays, we have become consumers and super consumers and hyper consumers. And today, the whole corporate world keeps on bombarding things on the heads of the people through various advertisements, through various medias. They keep on telling you to buy their product. The way they promote their product, it is really tragic and unethical. They will say, you apply this powder for 5 days, then you become fair. Which means it is against the basic and natural law of an individual accepting himself as he is. Suppose I am a black person And especially the girls, the adolescent girls, those who are with a dark complexion, they get, they are trapped in these advertisements. And not only this, making themselves fair and that, and it creates a lot of skin diseases, and they will know in the later stage, because we don't see what is put in that particular product. They see the advertisement, but they don't see what are the composition of this particular product. And if they go through that, that will be very in a very little, minute, small letters which cannot be read. But if you read this, you will know how dangerous those chemicals which are added in this. Very tragic. And it will cause some time or other in people's life skin diseases, skin problems, and it may cause even skin cancer. And we don't realize that. We want to look very, fair and that and this, even the name. And somebody went to the court today, some time back, about the name Fair and Lovely. The fair is discriminating. Now they are calling it Glow and Lovely. They have changed the name. So a lot of things are happening. And if it is not only for the cosmetics, for the tooth, any product what we use, and especially with the food product, it's a real tragedy. Have you ever read the small letters of the Coke and Pepsi? What it contains? They will not print it big because people will be become aware of that. But because of the law, asks them to print it, they print it. It will be in a small letter. Please, next time, any of you buy a Coke bottle or a Pepsi bottle and read that small letters of the contents which is there, and you will see. And take note of the name of that chemical and see what that chemical is produced from and what the causes of those chemicals. You will be surprised. You will be surprised, and you will never take those type of carbonated drinks ever in your life afterwards. And this is the role of this particular minister, to create awareness about the products what they consume, and the quality and the quantity what they consume, and the effect it has got in them, in their life, in their body. And there are certain things which causes unrepairable damage to the body and mind. And children parliaments, they are trained on this. They take care to identify a product such a way that they know what the content they are using or they are consuming. Not only the content and the quality we are talking about, even not to be the trap of a hyper consumer. Hyper consumer is a person who keeps on buying things for the sake of buying. Because the advertisement is this. They will advertise about a fridge. And they will say, now it is with double doors. They will come with a new product with the double doors. And they will come with another product with the multi doors, like a bureau. Then they will come with so many facilities what they claim. And every time we see a new product being advertised, we feel like buying it. It may be a cell phone. It may be air conditioner, car. We need a car. People say we need a car. Okay. But they will advertise after 6 months that we have a tubeless car. Then they will buy the tubeless car. Then they'll say, if you buy our car, then you have this safety measure, that safety measures and all. They frighten you. They threaten you by their advertisement that if you don't have that protective gears in your car, you will die of the accident. Then immediately, we will forget about the old car, then we go for the new car. Then after some time, they will say, auto gear, car with auto gear. You need not manipulate, use the gear here and there. It's auto gear. Then we go for it. Then they will come with, they say, you need not drive the car at all. You just say a destination, record the destination, it automatically it drives. This all scientific development. We don't deny that, but they make you a hyper consumer. Already you had a car, and there are so many developments. Now this is a 12th car you are buying, because you are told if you don't use this car, you are outdated. You are not up to date. You are outdated person. If you don't use this phone, you are outdated. If you don't use this fridge, you are outdated. And if you don't use this drink, see, all these cricket players, all these celebrities, all the cinema people drink this Coke and Pepsi. And they are there because of this. They use this Coke and Pepsi. So if you want to be like them, you drink this Coke and Pepsi. This is the way they advertise you. If you want to be very strong, use this. And here, this particular minister gives a very clear awareness of these products and these traps, this analytical process to the members, so that every member is well aware of what they consume. Either it may be cosmetics, or it may be other daily use products, or it may be food product. And it's more importantly the food product. The adulteration level is very high. And there are government departments to look after this, but they don't bother because they get their monthly cut from the particular companies, manufacturers. So they don't care about it. And children are made to. And nowadays, even a step further, many food products are made out of chemicals. Eggs are produced by chemicals. Vegetables are produced by chemicals. Meat and pure chemicals. And meat and fish, they are produced by the chemicals, manufactured by the chemicals. Rice is made from the plastics. You must have seen in the media, in the Facebook and the WhatsApp, lots of videos coming. Because the lust for money of the corporates is going to the very high level, and they stoop to any low level to make money. And even milk. I have witnessed myself directly in one place in North India. They are making milk out of chemical. Can you believe that? And this milk is sold to the dairy farm, private dairy farms. And it doesn't make much difference. Because they buy in gallons and gallons and gallons, and few liters is not going to make much difference there. And they sterilize the whole milk such a way that it doesn't get spoiled. And actually we consume the milk which is produced by chemicals. I think you must have seen the videos where they apply certain detergent paste or something like that, then with the urea, then add water, they keep on, stirring like this in the big vessel, then the milk comes. They filter it and they send it to the dairy farm, sell it to the dairy farm for a cheaper rate, and the companies buy it because it is cheaper. And they sterilize it such a way that it doesn't, create problem with the real milk when they mix. But we have to be well aware of all these things. Unless the consumers are well aware, it's very difficult. And Children Parliament is trained on that. And this minister takes a particular care about all these things, all these issues. Where does that child get all this information? The organizers or the teachers in the school have to organize a special training with the experts on these products to the children parliaments, so that children become well aware of what they consume. And children are trained to go for a natural, organic food products. And there are some children, they don't eat green leaves. There are some children, they hate taking brinjal. There are some other children, they never take ladies' fingers. Like that, they avoid the real healthy food. They are, they are so used to the advertisements and taking all the packet chips and that and this, which is available in the market with attractive colors and attractive posters and attractive pictures. And to lure the children into this trap, they also add some toys, small toys in the packets, so that they get the chips as well as the toy also. The children are so much happy that they get an extra toy, a small toy. And there is one product called Kinder Joy, a small chocolate and with a small toy. And the children, most of the children do not buy that Kinder Joy because of the chocolate, but because of the toy. Imagine the trap the corporate companies use. And those who are used to this, I also heard, it is not confirmed, but I also heard, but I don't want to make a statement in the public platform, but certain products also contain certain additives, which makes children keep on buying repeatedly that particular product. And this, very tragic. And children have to be created a very good awareness, and this particular minister is for it. Avoiding all the junk food, avoiding all this, created, hype created products, but go for the natural, healthy food habits. Natural cosmetics. There are so many cosmetics available in our own kitchen, which can be applied and used for our face to create that glow, which is promised by the corporate companies. And the children are trained on that. And how to find adulteration. They are trained. How an egg can be found out whether it is a chemical egg or a real egg. And they are trained to find out how this meat and fish is the original one or a chemically produced one. A lot of things are happening. And we create awareness also through various trainings to avoid, so that they will take a decision that they will not use all these type of food products and come for original, naturally cultivated and grown food products. And this minister takes this role. And one of the most important role of this minister to ensure that the members of that parliament do not waste any food product. Any food. And whenever I myself go personally to any of these training sessions to the children, I make it a point to teach them never to waste any food. And you know what I do? It's quite funny. Some of you may think that is some crazy idea, but I do it. When I go for the training the children, I do this. Some of you may have already seen that, witnessed that, those who attended my training to the children directly. During the lunch time or the meals time, if it is a residential program, during the meal time, I take my plate and go around with the empty plate. I don't fill my plate with the food stuff. I take the empty plate and go around. And if I see some children, but sometimes for the breakfast, they will have this upma, rava khichdi, which many children do not like. So they will keep it aside, which means they are going to throw it. Or in the afternoon, or even in the sambar and all, there will be some vegetable which is been put and they will keep it aside. And in the meal time, in the lunch time, you can see some particular vegetables will be kept aside in one corner of the plate to be thrown. I go around, collect all these things in my plate and start eating. Immediately, sir, what you do? What? No. I tell them, you don't have any right to waste this food product. You may not like it, but you cannot. Once it has come to your plate, it is yours. You have to eat it. And you don't have any right to throw them away. And whatever you can eat belongs to you. And whatever you cannot eat, you have kept it to throw away, belongs to somebody else. And you don't have any right to waste the food which belongs to somebody else. Some people, buy the rice, eat a little bit and just throw. They will buy the chapati, they will eat a little bit and throw. So I make it a point whenever I attend training with children to carry my empty plate, go around and collect the things which they kept it to be thrown away and collect it in my plate and I eat. And after that particular meals, if it is a lunch time, after that, I spend half an hour telling the children about wasting food. I tell them how many children die every day out of hunger. And these children, those who waste the food, is a cause for their death. I tell them very clearly, you are the cause for their death. Because you waste. The food, what you wasted, belongs to those children, those who die there without food. And you don't have any right to waste. And from then onwards, these children never waste food. And some, whichever they, even if they don't like, they take the product which they don't like, 1 or 2 pieces, and they eat it. And they never waste it. And I remember some of the children, contacting me sometimes, sir, I have learned a very great value from you, not to waste food. So this is what they learn through this. And when we say responsible consumption, this is what it is. Responsible consumption. And they promise, take a pledge all together collectively and individually that they will abide by all this awareness what they have got by not wasting food or not using junk food or not buying things which they don't need and all that. So this, to promote this, corporate system has to be done away with. So the children are trained from the young age that they promote local small scale industries to produce the products which is health friendly and environment friendly. It's a wonderful practice, and many children follow that. Many children follow that. And lots of changes have taken place among the children parliament members through this ministry, through this awareness. And in the book, you may be seeing that already, there are certain confirmation which they make, like we shall create posters in responsible consumption. It's not only they get the knowledge, they get the information, but they disseminate this information with others, with the adults in their families, in their neighborhood, through these posters and things like that. Shall collect pictures, news items, poems, success stories, skits, etc. related to responsible consumption. Shall promote healthy giving eating styles. Health-giving eating styles, healthy eating styles. And when we talk healthy eating style, a lot of things is connected with that. Lots of informations are connected with that, as I had earlier explained to you. Shall make representation to local governance bodies regarding the efforts for responsible consumption. It's not only the children follow and their families follow, they involve the local governance bodies also to come with certain common guidelines for the people on responsible consumption. We shall conduct cultural programs on responsible consumption. And, conducting this cultural program is a regular feature in many of the children parliaments. And even for this Children's Day, I've been receiving lots of videos from various parts of the country. Lots of children parliaments, having cultural programs. But the cultural program is connected with lots of information, which has to be disseminated to the public about child rights, violation of child rights, or their safety, security, development, and all that. And even otherwise, a lot of information is being given through the cultural programs. And we shall skip a meal once a week. Parents are very much worried about children, keep on eating. And they have to keep on. The parents feel that they are responsible parents only. They keep on pushing something in their mouth every now and then. No. That is okay because we love our children, but there is a limit for everything. And it should not create a negative impact on the child and child's health. And here we ask the children to fast intentionally, willingly, skip a meal once in a week and collect that money and contribute towards the hunger of somebody else, to feed somebody else who is less fortunate. This practice is promoted. Then we have, we invite very experts on this responsible consumption and responsible production, and so that we get enough information. And I think already I mentioned this, even this using cell phones. Sometimes people have a negative opinion about it. They say children should not be permitted to use cell phones. But I would say they should be permitted to use cell phone, because through cell phone, they can access a lot of information. But they should be trained when to use a cell phone, how to use cell phone, for what purpose to use the cell phone. If they're trained that, they become responsible using that cell phone. That's very, very important. So when we talk about consumption, everything is for the benefit of children or the benefit of the community. But we should know what is good and to what extent it is good. And this type of awareness is created. And we also create among a type of awareness among the local governance bodies to what extent the local corporate companies to be responsible about in their production, and shall reduce the use of plastics. And Kanyakumari district was the first district in the country to ban using plastic products. And the credit to certain extent, not fully, but to certain extent, goes to the Kanyakumari district children parliament, because it passed. I remember I was part of that district conference where they passed a resolution to propose a suggestion to the district collector to ban the plastic use. And these are wonderful success stories. And after this Kanyakumari experiment, now many states have banned. Even Tamil Nadu has banned. But there are other repercussions where, corporates, always these politicians play into the hands of the corporates. So there are lots of push and pulls. And let us not go into this, but we know the reality. We shall buy vegetables from small vendors, not from the corporate, big shops, what they're called, complexes, where the malls, departmental stores. They will advertise that we give you for this rate, they will quote for a cheaper rate. But when you go there, there will be a lot of connections to that. If you buy this, you will get this. If you buy that, you will get this, and all that. And they will try to push the unsold things on our head, and a lot of things like that. But the small vendors, the street vendors, they have the original product. They buy it from the farmers, and they bring the original product. It may be bit slightly costly. Doesn't matter. The benefit goes to poor people. So instead of making the rich more richer, this is better. But we are sure that we are getting a quality product. So there are so many items which the Children Parliament takes up on this particular responsible consumption and responsible production. Now we will go to the next issue of climate action. And this is goal number 13 of Sustainable Development Goal of climate action. And it is, again, as I said earlier, though this a lot of direction given to the member countries by the United Nations, the country from top-down approach cannot do much. They can bring ordinances, they can create laws and towards that, but nothing much will happen because the highest polluter, the whole world, is the corporates. And the corporates only decide who has to rule the countries in the name of democracy. And nowadays, you know what is happening. All the big mines, all the big oil companies, to whom it belongs to, how it belongs to. Even yesterday, I was reading a news item that even this Bharat Petroleum is going to be sold to a private company. So all these government entities are going to be sold. And this, when the private companies are going to buy, they are going to loot the whole environment right and left. And in the name of development and in the name of giving jobs to people. This all humbug. This all humbug. Corporate company is not to give jobs to people. That is not their priority. Their priority is to make money. And they talk about development. Development is not their priority. They want to sell their product and make money. That's all. And the governments are made by these people, and government cannot go against them, and it is definitely going to be a very big question. And you know, the whole world is threatened by this climate change. The whole world is talking about it. But what type of initiative? We have this, Eco Villages project and Extinction Rebellion program, that, and there's so many organizations all over the world. But what change it is going to bring? So I keep on, when I have discussions with them, I tell them, unless every individual takes in charge of doing something towards climate action, big changes cannot be brought in. And lots and lots are there towards this. And Children Parliament, there is a Minister for Climate Action, and invariably every Children Parliament works on it. Especially on Earth Day, on Environment Day, they plant trees, create awareness. I have lots of videos. I don't know how to share the videos and all here. Perhaps if you are interested, we can share the videos in the websites and you can go through that. And even in our YouTube channels, you can see those videos where the Children Parliament plays a very active role in climate action. There are a lot of things connected to that. Lot of pledges taken by the children, initiated by this particular minister, encouraged by this minister, and a lot of programs, training program by the experts in climate action taking place. It's a wonderful initiative. And if every individual in the world takes a part in it, and it becomes their habit, inculcated in them from young age, when they are young itself, then it becomes their character, that becomes their habit, so that climate action is part and parcel of their life, day-to-day program, wherever they are, whenever they are. There is a lot happening in these areas. And the children take a pledge on this. We shall create posters on the problems of climate change to create awareness among children, not only among children, among the villages, among the adults, in the schools and all that. We shall collect pictures, news items, articles related to climate change and create relevant dossiers where even a child can contribute something towards climate action. There is a lot of things towards that. There is a pledge which we usually share with the children parliaments when we give the training, where they are very serious about it. Then we shall organize cultural programs on global warming, on climate action. We shall get all the children, identify 10 things that could be done at our neighborhood to fight against global warming. For example, stopping the wastage of water, not to use any vehicles to travel the distance of 1 kilometer, or to use cycle up to the extent of 5 kilometers. And above 5 kilometers, they take a pledge that they will not use any private vehicle, but only use public vehicle. Only in case of emergency, they decide to use the private vehicles when it is needed. And this type of awareness, it becomes their habit, their culture. And nowadays using vehicle and it is a style, lifestyle. It's a status. If you have a bike, it's a status. If you have a car, that's a status. Even in a car, the cost of the car. Some people are get so much induced with this type of consumeric ideas. And we shall identify 5 things that we could do in our schools to fight global warming. We shall plant trees in our schools and in the village, in the neighborhood. We will link with environment movements like Taru Mitra and so on. There are so many environmental related organizations in the country. So the children get the linkage with them, they connect with them, and they prepare their own programs to ensure the climate action in their own neighborhood. We shall work for a global network of child ministers for environment. It is not only they do it in their local neighborhood level, but create a global network. The network at the higher levels, at the district level, state level, country level, at the global level, so that children can promote these climate action programs very strongly. We shall listen to the talks on disaster preparedness and get involved in that. And to the extent we create also awareness to the adults on this disaster preparedness. We shall send memorandums to those in authority regarding steps needed to arrest climate change or towards climate action. We shall ensure the safety of the planet. Now, there are so many videos available in the social media where the children have, access to. They can learn a lot from there. So it is by doing this small little action, it's saving a planet. It's not only their neighborhood or their village or their country, not only the world, the whole planet and even the universe. Because universe is connected, very much interconnected with every planet and the situation of the planet. And we shall promote green energy, very important. That is with the goal number 7 of SDG. Green, affordable, green and renewable energy. And many children are creating awareness among their parents how to produce electricity with very cheap means in their own houses. It is quite interesting, that is, where we need not always depend on the grid energy, but off-grid energy which can be produced. And again, lessen the use of energy to reduce the usage of energy. For example, for the AC, fridge, they also learn the technique of a natural means of keeping ourselves cool, keeping our rooms cool, keeping the product safe. Instead of using the high consuming energy products like air conditioner and the fridge. They are trained on that. And in the northeastern children parliaments, they promote even the bamboo products, you know, to keep things cool and all that. There are a lot of things going on that. We shall create awareness, general awareness, public awareness on global warming and the causes and the impact. Nobody can say, oh, somewhere something is going to happen, it's not going to affect us. No. Anything, whatever it is. Nowadays, you know, the pollution of the air and soil and water, it is so high, my lord. And to reduce the pollution, now children parliaments pledge that they will not get into any activity or any games or any entertainment program which is going to cause pollution. That's one of the reasons that using firecrackers during the festivals have been reduced to a very high extent. And this year they say Tamil Nadu, the pollution level on the Diwali day is much, much less. And even other cities, which is otherwise very highly polluted. And not only on the Diwali day, on this Bogi day in Tamil Nadu, people used to, you know, collect things from the streets, from tires, that, and some odd products, whichever is available, to burn it. The purpose of celebrating Bogi is entirely different. They just for the change, that you change your old habits, old things, and acquire new things, new habits, new practices. That is the main purpose. But they burn the old things. And the pollution level in the cities in Tamil Nadu on that day, my lord. And even in Chennai city, we cannot open our doors and windows. It will be full of smoke and pollution. And this children parliament take a pledge. Not only they will not burn, but they will create awareness in the neighborhood, you know, to dispose those things without burning and without creating pollution, but in a safer way. And nowadays the pollution of this used electronic products, it's being getting heaps and heaps and heaps like mountains, electronic waste, medical waste. So children are trained on that so that they do something about it and to create awareness and all that. We shall plant trees in our neighborhood, which we have seen earlier, and which invariably every parliament does it. Every children parliament does it. We shall promote the use of vehicles that do not pollute the environment. And yesterday I was seeing a wonderful small documentary about the electrical vehicles. We promote electrical vehicles. Even in India, we came out with the central government came with a law or ordinance that before 2025, all the vehicles will be electrical vehicles. Now they have changed. Now they have made it into 2030, or we don't know. And the documentary was, we are talking about electrical vehicle. And the electrical vehicle, there are two things which we'll have to think very seriously about electrical vehicles. One is about the battery which the cars use, electrical vehicles use. And these batteries are very high polluting factor. And secondly, to recharge the batteries, we need energy. And how this energy is created? Again, from the grid, whether the thermal energy source or the hydro energy source, as whatever it is, or nuclear energy sources, whatever it is. Again, we go back to this pollution. So can we create electrical vehicles with small renewable energy sources which can be recharged, so that the conventional grid energy is not required anymore, and which will use a battery system which will not pollute the environment? Oh, something. Now things are, getting developed. Lots of things are getting developed. So children are, this minister takes charge of this type of awareness and disseminate this information with concerned local authorities and the neighborhood. And they promise to use vehicles, private vehicles, only in the case of emergency, as I was telling earlier. And otherwise, for the common purposes, to use the public vehicles. And for certain distance, they pledge to use only cycle. And they pledge to use, go by walking for a shorter distance. There is no joyride here. Then they also take pledge that whenever they go to the market, and they create awareness for the parents also, that whenever they go to the market, they carry a cloth bag. Don't depend on the plastic carry bags which is provided by the shops. So these are the pledges they take. So these are the things the ministers take care. They get themselves equipped with proper informations, and they make it their habit and their character. And they disseminate these informations, create awareness, take up the rallies, number of rallies in their own neighborhood and their villages, and they do wonderful things. So if there is any questions to that, we can go for it.